Artemis Lunar Exploration Program, NASA sends astronauts on the Moon by 2024. NASA is committed to landing American astronauts, including the first woman and the next man, on the Moon by 2024. Through the agency's Artemis Lunar Exploration Program, we will use innovative new technologies and systems to explore more of the Moon than ever before. We will collaborate with our commercial and international partners to establish sustainable missions by 2028. And then we will use what we learn on and around the Moon to take the next giant leap. Sending astronauts to Mars. Why go to the Moon? NASA's science, technology and human exploration activities touch every aspect of our lives here on Earth, and we want to extend our presence to the farthest corners of the universe. In doing so, we will maintain America's leadership in space. Inspiration for generations to come. NASA's Apollo program was a stunning demonstration of the United States' strength of will, and its economic, political, and technological power. A feat that inspired generations of young people. It was fuel to the fire of the American consciousness that brought on a revolution, not only in science and technology, but also in our passion for exploration and discovery. Just as Apollo inspired a generation 50 years ago, NASA continues to inspire with feats of science and exploration today. If we bring together the capabilities and resources of our international and commercial partners to take us forward to the Moon and onto Mars, we will demonstrate to people around the world the power of a unified purpose. It will serve as an unparalleled and inspiring example of what humanity can do when it comes together to achieve a common goal for the common good. More missions, more science. The Moon is a treasure chest of science. The lunar samples returned during the Apollo program dramatically changed our view of the solar system. Yet, we are just scratching the surface of knowledge about the Moon. We believe the poles of the Moon hold millions of tons of water ice. That ice represents power. It represents fuel. It represents science. The farther humans venture into space, the more important it becomes to manufacture materials and products with local resources. We know the Moon can tell us more about our own planet, and even our own sun. There is so much more to learn, knowledge we can acquire with a sustained human and robotic presence on the Moon. Exploration for all humanity. Exploration is in the DNA of our species. The desire to discover and inhabit distant worlds, whether across earthly oceans or vast regions of space. It also is critical to the continuation of our species. Humanity must build a path to an Earth-independent existence. Exploration of the Moon and Mars is intertwined. Our sustainable Moon-to-Mars exploration approach is reusable and repeatable. Over the next decade, we will build an open exploration architecture with as many capabilities that can be replicated as possible for missions to Mars. The Moon is a testbed for Mars. It provides an opportunity to demonstrate new technologies that could help build self-sustaining outposts off Earth. A new commercial market in deep space. The next revolution will happen in space, a space economy built on mining, tourism, and scientific research that will power and empower future generations. Our investments in revolutionary, American-made technologies today fuel tomorrow's innovation and space economy. How do we get there? NASA is building a spacecraft to take astronauts to deep space that will usher in a new era of space exploration. NASA's powerful new rocket, the Space Launch System, will send astronauts aboard the Orion spacecraft 250,000 miles from Earth to lunar orbit. Astronauts will dock Orion at the gateway where they will live and work around the Moon. The crew will take expeditions from the gateway to the surface of the Moon in a new human landing system before returning to the orbital outpost. Crew will ultimately return to Earth aboard Orion. The gateway. NASA and its partners are designing and developing a small spaceship in orbit around the moon for astronauts, science, and technology demonstrations known as the Gateway. Located about 250,000 miles from Earth, the Gateway will enable access to the entire surface of the moon, and provide new opportunities in deep space for exploration. Sustainable exploration. This new era of sustainable human exploration requires advanced technologies that are efficient, affordable, and reliable. Solar electric propulsion offers these benefits, and is a key technology for the Gateway. The first element to launch to space will be the power and propulsion element in 2022. This alternative propulsion system will enrich exploration at the moon by enabling orbit transfers, and reusable space tugs to and from the lunar surface. When will we get there? Ahead of the human return, we will send a suite of science instruments and technology demonstrations to the lunar surface through commercial moon deliveries. The agency will fly 2 missions around the moon to test its deep space exploration systems. NASA is working toward launching Artemis 1 in 2020, an uncrewed flight to test the SLS and Orion spacecraft together. Artemis 2, the first SLS and Orion flight with crew, is targeted for launch in 2022. NASA will land astronauts on the moon by 2024 on the Artemis 3 mission, and about once a year thereafter. What will we do there? While Mars remains our horizon goal, we have set our sights first on exploring the entire surface of the moon with human and robotic explorers. We will send astronauts to new locations, starting with the lunar South Pole. At the moon, we will find and use water and other critical resources needed for long-term exploration. Investigate the moon's mysteries, and learn more about our home planet and the universe. Learn how to live and operate on the surface of another celestial body where astronauts are just 3 days from home. Prove the technologies we need before sending astronauts on missions to Mars, which can take up to 3 years round trip. Going forward to the moon will be the shining moment of our generation. This moment will belong to you, the Artemis generation. Are you ready? Where did the name Artemis come from? Artemis was the twin sister of Apollo, and goddess of the moon in Greek mythology. Now, she personifies our path to the moon as the name of NASA's program to return astronauts to the lunar surface by 2024, including the first woman, and the next man. When they land, our American astronauts will step foot where no human has ever been before, the moon's South Pole.